Howdy all, Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. That was crazy. I just logged in to being slapped around by a zombie. I can't believe he didn't see me. Shot him in the face twice. Oop, oop, he's coming now. Oop. Switch weapons before we die. Yeah, I kind of need to get to be daytime here pretty quick. I am going to die. Man. No, that's my bed right there, right? Where's my bike? Oh, it's over there by my bed. Okay. Less worried then. I think today we're gonna head out this way. So might as well head back over and grab my bike. Ooh, I better pop another one of these. We'll get out over here. So yeah, I made it through the 7th book of that book series I was reading. That shaman series. You know, it was pretty good up through book 6. Book 7 is book 7 was pretty good too, but it was kind of like a weird epilogue kind of book. And I'm still confused as to what actually happened in the book. I mean, I enjoyed it. Just there were people I thought had gone to jail for murder who still aren't in jail, and so I'm not exactly sure why they're not in jail. There you are. And so you've got like, shoot! I realized it too late, 2 seconds too late. I hit I hit the sandbags, and I'm like, oh no! I've driven my bike. Didn't look like my bike died, so that's okay, I guess. And my bed is right there. If the game loads me back in here. And it's daytime. Yeah, they kind of set up some more storyline. It doesn't seem like Book 7 is going to be the last one. It's just the last one that's out right now. But it does feel like they've moved into a new chapter of the story. It was interesting to say the least. A lot of it too is the like one of the major things in the story is that the game system allows the main character to do things that aren't written at like in the game rules. They're in the system. They're just not written in the game rules themselves. And so he does a lot of stuff with like combining his character abilities with his crafting window and stuff like that, and so when there seemed to be a lot of blatant willpower involved in his class that wasn't part of most other classes, so his class could do things other classes couldn't do. And so they get to the end of book 6, and everything comes to a head. And then he, whoops, I need to turn completely around. I need to go this. Oh, you know, it did that last time too. I don't know why it did that. My game just minimized for no reason. I didn't touch any buttons or anything. Just did it. It's getting crazy. Yeah, it wrapped up several major storylines at the end of book 6, and like people were going to jail and all sorts of stuff like that. And so book 7 came back, and it was weird because he did some stuff and they brought the game down because of what he did. And so when he came back in, they had patched a lot of things that he had been able to do. Where is that road? Oh, I'm not even there yet. That road is another block over. And so you know, book 7 was him trying to come to terms with the new way the system worked, but on top of that, kind of introduced a whole new storyline, but also was like wrapping right back into the old storyline with characters you didn't even know existed, and I don't know, it was a weird twist right there for sure. That book is full of weird twists, and some of it I think is translation errors, and some of it I think they just didn't put in. But I enjoyed the book. Even as weird and as confused as I got at sometimes, I enjoyed the book series. Mahana Neko or something like that is the author. Yeah, I finished that last night. And then we also played our Wednesday D&D last night. Oh man, let me tell you. So, we're playing a module called Princes of the Apocalypse, and it's kind of split into like 3 major sections, maybe 2 major sections. I'm not sure. I didn't read that closely. I've glanced through the module, but I haven't read the module. And so, but I do know that the first part of the module is above ground in these like surface bases for these 4 cults of the elements. And so there's earth, air, water, fire. And so I talk a little bit about it because our DM threw a fit because we didn't do them in the right order. But we did them in the order, hey, it's a crack-a-box. Nice. We did them in the order that he gave them to us in, but it wasn't the order listed in the book as the correct order. And so he kind of threw a fit about that we were doing them in a different order. And so it was just weird because like it wasn't us, it was you, dude. We didn't have anything to do with what went down. In regards to the order in which the game flowed, and so and so we did some weird stuff that wasn't part of the game. We basically started a major business And so anyways, we went up with this ship and our boat, a river boat, and so we took the river boat north because he kept telling us we needed to go to this major town. And I thought, well, it's a major town, so maybe it has major supplies because none of the other towns had any supplies. Every town we stopped in, we would ask what was for sale. Ooh. Have I been here? No. Okay. Every time we stopped in, nothing for sale. No potions, no weapons, nothing. Because I haven't had time to figure that out yet. So it's just not, you're just not going to be able to do it in this town. And you can buy things that are straight out of the player's handbook, but anything beyond that, I didn't bother to do. So, like, great, okay. So we get to this big town, and he told us that we couldn't do anything in the big town but look around because he hadn't prepared anything last time we played. And then he canceled last week, and because he didn't have anything prepared. And so this week we get in there, and he's like, all right, so you guys are in the town, and you said you were going to do some shopping. I'm like, I don't think we said that. And the other guy's like, no, I said that I wanted to sell some items, and we tried to do that last time, and it didn't work out, and we decided we would let other things happen instead. And he's like, oh, right. He's like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, there's not really a reason for us to be here. I think you guys should check the shops. And so we go to the shop, and we go in the shop, and we ask them what they have for sale. And oh, they've got items for sale. I've got 500 gold on one character, and I've got 600 gold on the other character because I run two characters. And the other guys have got around 1,800 gold each because I had spent my money the week before purchasing a warehouse for our business. And so yeah, we didn't have a lot of money, but that's pretty good money for our level. So I'm like, all right, we can maybe get some upgrades that are near our level. That'll be great. And heck no, he's like, I got +2 this and +2 that. You don't even get +2s until you're like level 10 or 12. We're level 7, and it's not like a video game where you go up 100 levels. There are only 20 levels, and so once you get to about level 5, the levels slow way down. And so going up a level is a big deal because you get a lot more power most of the time when you go up a level. And so this is like level 12 gear. We're level 7. We're not gonna hit level 12 for months if we play every week. And then he's like, yeah, and those are 6,800 gold pieces. And I'm looking through my gear. I'm like, I might be able to come up with 1,100 gold pieces. Maybe. All combined, we couldn't come up with that much gold for one of the items. I'm like, well, if the items are priced that way, there's no reason for us to be here. So we might as well leave town like we said we were going to do at the beginning. And so then he's talking about how the other towns, now that he's had a chance to sit down and start figuring out what items are in the town. It's not like we haven't been playing for 8 months. But now that he's had time to sit down and think about it, the other towns are going to start having items for sale. So we might want to stop back by the other towns we've already been to. Yeah, no. No thanks. I don't want to. And I'd like to move on with the storyline because we've been flitting around doing nothing for a while now, and I have grown weary of the flitting. And so that was a disappointing bookstore. It did not have that couple of recipes I need. Do I think I probably do want to check out that military place there. Oh, you know, these places usually have some bookshelves in it too. I'm gonna stop at one of these. So we rent a boat. He's like, well, you can just take your boat. I'm like, no, we already set that up last week. We've got a hired an NPC. He's gonna run the business from here. He needs the boat. We're not taking the boat. We'll just look for a boat going downstream. And so he's like, okay, well, you can find a boat easy enough. And so we hire a boat to take us downstream, and then we get attacked by a water elemental. And so we fight that and kill that. And oh, I want that. I do. And so then we continue on our way, and the sorcerer on our team, he decides he's going to look around the boat while we're heading downstream just to see what's there. And so he finds the boxes are labeled. You know, now that I'm thinking about this is weird. He finds the boxes are labeled, but they're in a shorthand that we don't speak. And so he rolled to see if he could understand the shorthand, and so he does. Rolled the dice, rolled a 20. And so he does understand the shorthand. And so the labels just tell you what's in the boxes. But one of the boxes seems to be labeled strangely. Which is strange now that I think about it. And so he opens that box, and when he opens that box, it's full of lanterns. And so he digs through the box of lanterns, and once he gets through the box of lanterns, he finds a box buried underneath the lanterns. And when he opens the box, it's full of drugs. And not only is it full of drugs, but it's full of drugs that get you high on contact with your skin. And it spills all over his hand because whoever packed the drugs packed it loose in a box, I guess. I don't know. And so even though he put the lid back down and was putting it away, somehow it spilled out on his hands. And so then we had to sit through this. Hallucination that he had, where he thought everybody was out to get him, and he couldn't understand anything they said. And so he started throwing spells at people. And the DM at one point said, if you had rolled a different number than what you rolled, I would have had it set the ship on fire, or have a meteorite strike the nearby town, or something like that. But you didn't roll the numbers I was looking for to have you do something pointless and stupid. Dude, you didn't have to get so angry. I was coming your way. And so, I don't know if I need that or not. And so, anyways, after that part's all over, and it takes a long time to get through all that, but we finally get through all that, and, because there was a lot of rolls, and he kept describing the shadows he was seeing, and wanted to know what we were gonna do every second of the thing, and I'm just like, can we get this over and get to something that's useful? Because this is not useful. Because once again, my DM does not like combat. He puts it in there because D&D is usually played as a game of combat, but it doesn't have to be all about combat. But the module we're playing is about combat for the most part. And so, and then he does one of the things that irritates me so much. So then we leave. That's weird. They've just got a stove in the middle of the army camp. So then we leave the boat. We start traveling across land. And then he says, oh, give me a second to load the map. And so he loads up the map, and then he puts our tokens on the map, because we play with a online system. And he's like, there's a large group of guys directly in front of you that you came across while you were traveling. I'm like, wouldn't we have noticed that stuff? I mean, we are adventurers. We are trained in things like perception and survival, and we are being hunted and hunting people. I don't think we would just stumble into a giant group of people. But he does this because we're not allowed to set traps or things, and so we had to fight. We had to fight this giant fight, and they were like, you're going to surrender to us or we're going to kill you, and stuff like that. And so we're like, yeah, okay, so we've been fighting these guys for ages now. We're not going to surrender to them. So I guess we'll have to fight them, even though they far outnumber us. There are 4 of us. 4 characters. And so the way the game works is it's designed around 4 players. That's the way the module is set up. 4 players, and so we're level 7. And so there's this thing in the game called CR. I don't remember what it stands for. One of these times I'm going to look it up, but I don't remember exactly what it stands for. But CR. And so if you're going to make us fight something, a CR7 monster is a monster that is a regular low-level combat for 7 characters. Or for level 7 characters. 4 level 7 characters. And so when you have more than one, you add them together. And so a quarter CR character isn't worth 4 people. It's worth a person. At level 1. 4 quarter CR people make 1 CR. So that's a fight for level 1 people. 8 quarter CR people is probably worth about 4 level 2s. For a regular fight. It gets a little tougher because there's more of them, and there's a scale in there that tells you, the more you have, the harder it gets. And so we get to the end of this fight. We have almost died multiple times. He has changed things. He's gone back and taken turns in the middle of other turns because he forgot to use some ability on some creature. They bypass us, bypass his character to get to our characters. You know, it was just everything I hate when dealing with his combat sometimes. Twice he stopped my turn to take a monster's turn in the middle of my turn because three turns ago he forgot to three turns ago he forgot to do something because I take my turn, the guy before me took his turn, the guy before him took his turn, and the turn before that is when that monster should have gone and didn't. And so now it's going to take its turn in the middle of my turn. Like, I took a potion, and then he stopped me, and then he took the monster's turn, and then asked what I was doing with the rest of my turn. I did one more thing, and I'm like, well, that's it. And he's like, well, you still have your other bonus action. I'm like, no, because I took that before you took your turn with the monster. Well, if you want to retcon that and go back, you can go ahead and have your whole turn. No, I'm still going to need to drink a potion. Even more so now, because you've brought another monster in right next to me because I was in the middle of doing something, and I don't know if he just decided he didn't want me to do that or what, but it happened a couple of times. And then when you call him on it, he's like, well, I'm just a bad DM. Yeah, we know. And so we get to the end of this thing. My character has 66 hit points. And my other character has got like 50, 54, 58 hit points. And by the time the fight was over, my two characters had taken like 150 points of damage during that combat, which is insane at our level. And so we get to the combat, and he's like, well, you guys didn't sound like you really enjoyed that. I thought you'd really enjoy a big combat like that. And I'm like, dude, it's 11 a.m. game time. You get one long rest per day to reset your abilities. He's like, well, it says, they say that most people only get one encounter per session, and so I wanted to make sure it was a big encounter for you. And I'm like, yeah, but we still have the rest of the game day to go through. It's supposed to be 6 encounters a day, thereabouts, a little less, a little more, depending on what you're doing. And so you've just wasted. Well, you didn't waste. You just took up all my stuff, all my spell slots, all my long rest special abilities in this one fight. We're 4 hours from where we were going to fight, which only puts us about 2 in the afternoon. And so, I mean, seriously, you just basically smashed our entire day in the face. And to give you an idea, I may have already said, but to give you an idea with the CRs, a deadly encounter for level 7s is based off of XP, and I do know that there's leeway in this. It's not an exact number because some creatures are more difficult than others, and some combinations are more deadly than others. But a deadly encounter comes out around 6,800 XP. 6,800 XP. When you added together everything he made us fight at once, it was over 20,000 experience points it was supposed to be worth. Now, he didn't give us 20,000 experience points. He maybe gave us 8. Although I doubt he even gave us 8. In fact, I know he didn't give us 8 because we had that other encounter earlier with the water elemental. it was a frustrating fight. Me and the other guy were sending messages during the fight. I'm like, yep, this is it. This is the end of our campaign right here. Hope you're ready to roll up new characters next week, because I don't think we can survive this. We did. It was a very close thing, as in he mistakenly lined his bad guys up in a straight line, and before he could go and change where they were standing, which he does a lot. Oh, they wouldn't move there. They'd know that you had a lightning spell. I'm going to move these to different positions before you cast your lightning spell. I hate when he does that. But the sorcerer got his lightning bolt off and hit like 5 of the bad guys, which is pretty much the only thing that saved us. Because nothing I was doing was working. And so it was a close thing for sure. We barely survived. We only got 2,500 XP each from it. And it was such an insanely difficult fight. It was terrible. And another thing that he does that drives me crazy is he changes the abilities on the bad guys, which that says it's unlocked. I'm just sitting here smashing away. It's not even locked. But he changes the abilities on the bad guys, which are set with those abilities to give them the difficulty that they have in the book. So they're actually even more powerful than what he's given us experience for. And so I know, like, our sorcerer got counterspelled. None of those guys have counterspell. And he casts Hold Person twice. None of them have Hold Person. And so it was crazy and frustrating. And yeah. And I'm actually in the process today of setting up a new D&D session that we're going to try with me and the other guy, doing what's known as play-by-post, where you just leave messages for each other so that we don't have to find a set time during the week to play. We'll just on and off constantly play throughout the week. You know, a couple messages here, a couple messages there. It'll all work out. Alright, with that, I am going to call it a day. So click like if you like, subscribe, be sure and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.